I already hit a wrong button. Like right out of the gate, we're just off to a great start. Look, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for jumping in. Happy Friday night. I'm glad you could be here with me to waste time. I did make the realization, who is it in chat? It is Wannabe MTB said, hey, we're getting ready for jumping in on a holiday weekend. I'm like, that's right. It is a holiday weekend. It is Labor Day weekend. We've got Monday off. It's a 3-day weekend. So hopefully we're starting it off right. Look, I got to tell you that screensaver to this day is still one of the greatest things that I've created. No matter how many millions of views I've gotten on shorts and short form videos, I still take enjoyment on that screensaver. I don't know if I ever told you the story behind that, the floating head screensaver, but I had to build that by hand. I had to build every keyframe. And first you had to go in the garage and I had to go record it on the, maybe I've told the story, but I had to go record it with a green screen. And then I had to sit there because I wasn't sure how long that I was going to make it. I had to go sit there for what could only be like 5 minutes of me just making strange facial expressions with the hopes that it would actually work. And so what happened is I finally got it into the editing software. I was able to mask out my head and do all that stuff. And then I had to go build each little hit on the wall. I had to go mark those keyframes and the speed to like do that. Now, there may be with AI and all that stuff now, like I did this that long ago, there may be some better solution to this problem. But at the time, that's all I knew how to do. So I built it by hand and it was just going boom, boom. And every one of those movements is pre-programmed. So then when I was like, let me make some modifications to this, I think that would be pretty cool if I made some changes. I discovered that the save file in Premiere got corrupted. And Premiere's the software I edit on. So I spent like how many countless hours building this thing that only takes that long and it's stupid. And then I almost lost it all. And so I was able to like eventually find some reverted save file that I was able to get back in and edit the outro screensaver that had a custom message. So I still got to go in and make some changes to that, but that screensaver is it's a Calirado classic. What more can I say? It's I'm stoked on it. I'm stoked on it. Thanks for jumping in, everybody, on this Friday night. Hopefully everything's sounding and looking just fine. Eric's in here. Good to see you, buddy. Riding Dirty, MTB Taj. You are my idol. I don't blame you. Hopefully you have a great mustache like this. Do you snowboard, says Noah's Outdoor Adventure. I do snowboard. In fact, interesting story about that before we get into everything tonight. I'm glad you brought that up. This is why we need topics. This is always good. Hold on. Jesus, this chair is all over the place. All right. So the thing about like the snowboarding thing is I used to live in Colorado, hence the Calirado Kid name, right? So I born in California. I moved to Colorado for a little bit. And during that time, I wasn't mountain biking at the time. So I learned how to snowboard when I was in Colorado. And I didn't know how to mountain bike, which is like, it sucks now that I look back on it because Colorado's got so much to offer and so much good riding. But I learned how to snowboard in Colorado, so I was spoiled. And now when I go anywhere else and it's like an icy day on the slopes, it's just awful. Like there was just incredible POW days out there. I am stoked that I learned there, but here's the thing though. I don't go as much as I used to. I do enjoy it. I have a blast every time, but the price is astronomical. Like to drive up there, lift tickets are $100 something bucks. You got to buy food while you're there. You get, like, you can pack a lunch, but like, that's not as fun, right? And then, you know, you feel this pressure to get on the lifts, get up there, get as many runs as you can to maximize your money. And it's expensive, man. It is expensive. And with California being the way it is, we essentially have year-round riding. There's not really a time when you can't ride here. Like I live in a place that you could just ride anytime. So I don't get out to snowboard as much as I'd like to. If I could get some like free passes or something, I would probably be more inclined. It'd make it like an easier thought process for me. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with snowboarding. I do enjoy it, but I would prefer mountain biking. And that's generally what tends to happen. Now, I do like kayaking. Nothing like, not professional kayaking by any means, but like I like going out on the lakes and rivers and stuff like that. So I tend to kayak more than I snowboard these days because I can get the family involved with that. We can go out kayaking. When it's 110 degrees out, you can go float down the river. That I enjoy, and I get out. That's a little bit easier for me because all the bodies of water are really close by. So during the summer, I tend to do a lot more kayaking, which is sweet. And I have a fishing kayak, but I don't ever fish off the fishing kayak because I never catch anything anyways. I'm so frustrated with fishing. Can I tell you a fishing story before we actually talk about mountain biking, guys? Thanks for jumping in and putting up with me real quick. But so they do these things called fishing in the city. And what they do is like, it's for kids mostly, right? Adults go out there and they will fish while their kids are supposed to be fishing. But what it is they'll stock like a small pond or something full of fish. So theoretically, it's like fish in a barrel. Maybe it's like that. So the idea is like you will guarantee to catch something because when you go fishing normally, you're not guaranteed to catch anything, right? Unless you know what you're doing. And so these are like, you're just going to catch something, right? This is the idea. And so we went to one recently where they stocked these massive catfish. Like, so there's this tiny pond, and supposedly they stock tons of catfish. And so we take the kids over there, we throw out the lines, we got bait on it, we're just sitting there, and I'm looking around, and nobody there is catching any fish. So which is like already like, what the hell is going on here? Like, this is like supposed to be get kids excited for fishing by just catching tons of stuff, and nobody's catching anything. So like the guys start walking around, you could see, I don't know what you call them. Like the guys, they work for the city or the state or whatever. They're walking around just checking in on everybody. Like, hey, how's the fishing? I'm like, we haven't really even gotten a bite or anything, but the kids we're having fun, you know? And he's like, yeah, I think what happens is sometimes they'll stock the pond like the day before for the event. And then people come that night and they like fish them all out of there. I'm like, what kind of maniac is over here stealing catfish from kids? But that's my fishing story. That's why I think of it should be fish in a barrel. We went and we didn't catch anything. I was like, this is just normal fishing now. This is it's all right. So we're supposed to be talking about mountain biking, but I thought I'd do that. Let me catch up with you guys. Are you doing any riding out in LA? MTBJ, we're going to talk about my LA trip today. If you guys didn't see on Instagram, I made a recent trip to Hollywood to film something, and we're going to talk all about that tonight. So if you guys are here, you can get some fun stories on some behind the scenes content, which is cool. But yeah, I did not get any riding while I was down there. I brought a mountain bike, but I couldn't ride. So it was just crazy. Oscar's in here. Oscar should be grateful. He is. And he made a comment on the video that I actually put out a full length video, essentially. And it depends on your definition of full length. But I put out a video on YouTube recently. So it's doing fine. Like when you expect to drop a video every 6 months, you're not going to get a lot of traction on them, but it's fine. I do want to do more. I've got concepts for them. I just need the time. So maybe this weekend I'll shoot another one because I've got 2 filmed today in the bag, 2 shorts ready to rock. And then I got a 3rd one. So I'm ahead of schedule now. All right. I'm ahead of schedule, but there's a lot of stuff going on that's going to put me behind schedule. Okay. There's a Spain trip coming up real soon in about a month. And so it's going to be hard to produce as much as I can produce, but I don't care. I'm just going to make stuff when I can make stuff and I'll put it out there. Are you going on the Victory Velo group ride tomorrow? No, Mammoth, I didn't know anything about it. Where are they going? Tell me about it. Send me a message. Where are they going? Amanda Panda's in here. Good to see you. Commitment to the screensaver. I know the screensaver was a passion project, if you will, a passion project. Amanda's obviously part of Mammoth Tough. They're doing a gravel race up in Mammoth very soon, on September 15th weekend, 15th through 17th. The event itself is on the 17th, I believe. I'm just screwing it all up, but man, what an amazing place Mammoth is. Wow, wow, wow. If you guys didn't see that video I made out there, we made a couple videos out there, but boy, oh boy, is that place scenic as hell. It's unbelievable. Sam lives in Colorado. What part of Colorado, man? Colorado. Its food's like $39. Wow. Have I been to Australia? No, I haven't been to Australia yet. I would love to. There's a bunch of people that reached out to me about going to Australia, but I would love to do an Australia-New Zealand trip or something. I'm sure you would just have to do one each because there's no way. There's too much stuff to cover, I'm sure. But I'd love to make it Australia, 100%. And like I said, Spain's coming up. And there's a possible trip. So the Spain thing, by the way, is going to be with, God, why am I spacing? Basque MTB. We're going to go with Basque MTB. They basically put everything together. You show up, you go ride some of the best trails in the world, and then you come home. So that's going to be an amazing trip. And then there's a possible trip going on to Oaxaca. I got to lock that down. Oaxaca Expeditions reached out to me, and they seem like incredible. They work with a bunch of really talented creators like Johan Borelli and stuff like that. And they had talked about the Calirado Kid coming out to Oaxaca. I was like, I would love to do that. So stay tuned. If I can make that work, that'd be an amazing trip too. I'm pretty stoked on that. And all that stuff. Well, I want to film as much as I can and bring those into long form videos as well and tell some good stories. So these are all the things that I'm working on in the background in addition to everything else. So yeah. Outlaw Cat and Lou says, yeah, Hagen Pond is all old people with 2 pools. Yeah, exactly. That's the fishing thing. That's called Hagen Pond. It's kind of a crapshoot. Everstoke Enduro update. Yeah, that's coming up. So it's going to come on the 17th. You can go online and sign up for the Everstoke Enduro. There's tons of events going on, by the way. The Everstoke Enduro is happening on the 17th. I will be out there. That weekend, I've got a buddy's wedding, which is why Friday, Saturday is kind of shot for me. But the Sunday, I'm going to make it out to Everstoke, and I'm going to help announce the winners of the Enduro and stuff like that. So I'll be hanging out there. If anybody's racing at the Everstoke Enduro, I should be there all day, as far as I know. I'm catching up with chat, so if I miss anything, just let me know. Are you going to get the new GoPro? If so, you should give me your old one. I do have a Hero 9. Yeah, the Hero 12, they teased it, and they're gonna probably what they usually announce it and release it the same day, which is September 6th. I am a member of a group of creators. I pretty much know everybody at this point, right? And I asked them, does anybody have their hands on it yet? And as far as I know, nobody has their hands on it yet. So I'd be curious to know what's going on with it, but I'm sure they're NDA'd out of their mind. And right now, think about like Insta360, okay? Insta360 is producing, your 360-degree video. They are taking over the market because they're paying tons of creators to rep their stuff. And so believe it or not, if you look at everyone's video, like Dangerous Dave, Van Can, there's tons of creators now that are constantly posting Insta360 footage, which is brilliant and smart because now, you almost forget about GoPro. Now, the problem with that is that footage is not quite as sharp as GoPro's. It never is, but you got to take into consideration you can make 360-degree video out of that stuff. So it's incredible. It's still really amazing. But if you really look at the nitty-gritty, it's not as sharp. It's from what I can tell. You can go watch a YouTube video with that, and it just doesn't seem crispy. So we'll see what the Hero 12 has to offer. I am highly considering it because with the Spain trip, I kind of want to have the latest and greatest. And I've only got one battery left for the 9. I don't know what happened to the other ones. So I've got to get some new gear anyways. So, anyways. Pro Racer says, can you scream, oh yeah? Sure I can. I just did. Look at that. You don't have to send me $100. I'll do it anyways. Thanks for jumping in, guys, on this Friday night. I'm glad we could sit here and talk with chat. I got stories to tell, but I'm going to hang out with you guys for a little bit around the Auburn area. I did not know about that. 8 a.m. is a little aggressive for me, Mammoth. I'm a late riser, but send me a message on IG and I may go because that sounds like a good time. Brian Gong, good to see you, buddy. Says hitting Mammoth for the first time next weekend. Awesome, dude. The scenery out there is unreal. It's just beautiful. Bring a fishing pole. I've never seen so many people fishing. Go hit the downhill park. Probably, I'm guessing you're gonna hit the downhill park. And just adventure around the city. It's a small city, but you can shuttle up to the top. There's a lot of stuff to do, and if you like nature, which you do, you're gonna have a blast, man. You're gonna have a really good time. Really good time. Yes, Mammoth POV says Mammoth is straight up awesome. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I would. Straight Line MTB, good to see you, buddy. He says, I want to hit Mexico City. Got invited here. It's awesome around there. Yeah, I hear Mexico City is incredible. I'm excited about the possibility of hitting Oaxaca. I love the idea of traveling a little bit more. I'm not going to lie with you guys, all right? I have a tendency to get common trail fatigue, but I would say local trail fatigue. One of the reasons why I like mountain biking so much is always discovering something new and seeing something different. And going out and riding the same stuff all the time tends to I'm just not excited about it. I know I still love going to ride and I still have fun, but going out to Granite Bay all the time because I film out there, the trails aren't exceptional. The rock roll stuff is always fun and I always run into people out there. But man, I'm not excited to ride it, I just but you think of going to Spain. I'm of course I'm going to be excited to go to Spain, but even when I go to Tahoe and I ride a trail that I've never ridden before, it's that freshness, it's wow, this is so cool. I'm seeing this for the first time. I love that. So it's hard for me sometimes when, you're riding the local trails all the time. Do you guys get this with local trail fatigue? And it's routine now. It's not like you're discovering something new. And so, man, that sometimes makes me not want to ride as much. Does it make sense? You're just I'm just going to go ride there again. It's just not the same excitement levels are not there sometimes. It's still always fun to ride. Every time I get over with a ride, I'm it was a great time, whatever. But does that make sense? You guys have local trail fatigue sometimes? You got to get out and see something new. Man, that's what fuels me for sure. It's the discovery of it all and just seeing something for the first time, which is why it was fun to go ride Truckee and stuff. And I know Brian Gong, DeGonger, he was out riding Tyrolean and some other stuff. And Martis, I don't think I've ever ridden those. I'm bummed I couldn't make it today. I had to stay here and kind of get some work done. And I still got to plan this weekend and stuff. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I like discovery. What do you guys think about that? Okay, let's see. I'm catching up. Cali radio in Mexico. Yeah, I think it'd be blast. I speak a little bit of Spanish, and I got to brush up because if I'm going to go to Spain and then Oaxaca, I better start taking this stuff seriously, all right? I got to start taking it seriously. Yep, there he is. DeGonger says, Truckee and incline dirt today. They got a little rain up in the mountains today, too, so that's hero dirt situation. Does Everstoke Enduro have a U18 category? I don't know if they do or not. You'll have to go. I don't know if I have the link, but God, I forget. Brian Gong might know who's putting it on. It's a local guy, Nathan. California Adventures or Expedition or something like that. Anyways, like go to look it up. I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I'm not organizing the event. I'm just gonna be there. I'm for moral support. All right, because I have not organized an event, but that is something that in the future I think I would like to do. Like the idea of organizing a mountain bike event would be fun, but I'd have to like. It wouldn't be like a traditional race or anything, because that wouldn't be necessarily like something you'd expect from the Calirado Kid, right? So I thought like an entertainment-based event like mountain biking, whether it's like getting a bunch of creators together and hanging out and doing live Q&As and do like, you know what I mean? Like have it like almost like a podcast fest sort of thing where it's like you come and hang out, we could have competitions, we could do whatever, but I don't know how that would play out yet. So I do like the idea of it. If you guys think there's something like that would work well, like I don't know that concerts would be it because I don't know that much about new music and stuff anymore. Like I don't keep up with that stuff, but there might be some fun opportunity for an event. Maybe it's just like a big barbecue and hang sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, but I feel like one day having an event could be pretty cool. But I don't have enough time to organize it right now. Sports Kid says I'm getting a new mountain bike soon. Sports Kid, what are you getting? Do you know yet? Do you know? Straight Line MTB says, watch out for the Burning Man traffic going to Tahoe. Wait, what's Burning Man? Oh, yeah, they got to go through Tahoe and go across. Oh, man, what a nightmare that's going to be. Tahoe's a crapshoot. Last few times I went to Tahoe, no traffic at all. It was awesome. Like, I'm like, I don't know why I always thought there was traffic constantly getting there. It was just like every time, easy peasy, straight shot. It was great. It was great. Lake Tahoe is beautiful, man. It's unbelievable. Oh, he's saying Truckee. Okay, that makes sense. Yo, I didn't get a notification you were live. Moon, what happened? YouTube's just screwing me over. Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you figured it out anyways. I never know how that works. I'm always curious, and I've talked about this in previous live streams as well. I'm like, how do people find out if I'm live? Like, if I tease it on Instagram, I don't think people come over from Instagram here. Like, I think it's like a notification that pops up for YouTube. If people don't have notifications, how would they know? Like, so I'm always curious, like, how do I get the word out? Do I post like a post on YouTube and then the live stream link? I don't know, man. I'm still never found the perfect solution to the problem. All I do is create the live stream and go live and hope people figure it all out. So it's just, you just never know how it's going to go. You never know how it's going to go. We just do it. GoPro Hero 11. Yeah, he says GoPro's better. I'll take your 9. Oscar, I might just give it to you, honestly. Just message me again. But like, if I get the 12, I'm not really going to need the 9. I got enough extra cameras right now. I spent a bunch of money. I've got this camera right here, the Sony a7S III, and then I got 2 other cameras in the bag over there that really, the only reason I bought them is to have them for secondary cameras for when I do live streams like the Fireside Chat, which is starting to get dark sooner. So we may be lining up some Fireside Chat guests soon and bring the Fireside Chat back. But it's intricate, right? You got to have 3 cameras. You got to have everything. So it's a lot more involved for setup. But it's always fun. It's always fun, and I can get some guests lined up. That'd be cool. I was trying to see if I could get a company to like sponsor it, not for me to make money, but like just to cover costs. Like, so for example, if I wanted to have like Jess the Maker come out, or like Semi-Sendy Rich, or somebody like that's from out of state, and just like cover the cost of flight and hotel or whatever else. But I mean, like, I don't know that it's worth it. Like, I just have to float the idea to somebody. I think it'd be cool, and then they could have a giant sign in the background or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I'd love to bring in, because that's the whole point. You got to be live. It's just you got to be in person. So we'll see. We shall see. Oscar says, so Joe, apparently my comment has 850 likes on this e-bike is classy. That's so sick. That's cool, man. I can't keep track sometimes, and I wish I could. So what happens, and let me give you a behind the scenes on the YouTube side of things. So if I put out a video, I will see the initial comment. So if somebody makes a comment, I try to reply back to it. But then all the subsequent comments that happen, I don't see alerts for that stuff. So like, it boggles my mind sometimes when I go onto a video, say it's got like 15 million views. There's one, the tire one has 15 million views or whatever. If I go look at the comment sections, it's like, it's all new to me. And I'm like, why don't I see this stuff? I mean, it'd be hard to keep up with it, of course, but sometimes there's some interesting and funny interactions that like, I'd love to be a part of. So it's just too much legwork on my side now to go track all that stuff down. But there are entire conversations happening in some of these videos, and I'm like, wow, I didn't even know this was happening. It's great. It's so cool. Do you disc golf? No, I have never disc golfed, Matthew, but I thought about it. It looks rad. It looks rad. I just, one, I've never bought the stuff that I would need. I do know where there are places. So Everstoke, for example, the brewing layer, the brewery right next door, has a disc golf course like in the mountains right next to the brewery and everything. It's awesome. And I just have never done it. I just never done it. So one of these days I need somebody to like, that has all the stuff I would need just to go invite me and we can go grab beers and just show me the ropes. Cause I can't go watch YouTube videos on this stuff. All right. I got enough on my plate trying to fix my bikes and stuff. We'll talk about that later too, but yeah. So I would totally be down for it. Now I'm always an accepting person. Like for example, like I'm always down to try something new. I'm always like, I love that. It's always about getting out of your comfort zone and exploring and seeing something and all that stuff. Right. So I thought about this like back in the day. I don't train as much as I used to, but back in the day I was really hardcore training in Kung Fu. And so like my commute to the studio was like, it would pass this park. And every time on Sunday I would pass this park to go train, I would look in the park and there'd be LARPers. You guys know what LARPing is? Like it's when you like dress up as like a knight or whatever, and you go and you kind of fight with fake swords and everything. And like, I know there was a lot of jokes going around of how like dorky that was, but I was like, dude, I'd totally be into that. Like, that sounds fun as hell, man. Like, again, the same kind of mentality that I have towards biking and everything else is like, are you having fun? Like, that's all that matters. Like, I have a hard time making fun of anybody that just finds enjoyment and more importantly, finds their community. Like, it could be anything these days. You can have this just, 3D printers, like, or, like that's even not that obscure anymore. But like, I think like D&D. I've never been into Dungeons and Dragons, but like, it seems pretty awesome to me. And like, back in the day, we all used to be considered nerds for playing video games. And now video games are some of the biggest forms of entertainment ever in history. Okay. I'm pretty sure video gaming is bigger than the movie industry now. Right. And same thing with comic books. I was into comic books growing up and now that was nerdy. And now comic movies, while they're on the decline, and that's a whole nother topic we can get into, that was nerdy. And now, like, again, it's cool. So it's like this, it's not up to me to define things as nerdy or whatever else. I was like, I would totally be into that. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked, but there it is. That's what you get when you ask me about disc golf this is the answer you get. Oh my God. All right. I'm catching up. What is the brown liquor for the night? What do I got? Oh, you know what? All right. So look, I've drank a lot of fancy whiskeys in my time. This is not a fancy whiskey. I mean, you can find this in the right place. The Woodford Double Oak for like $35, $40. But I'm like, I've regressed. Like, I'm tired of paying hundreds of dollars for bottles. So like, this is like a really good pour for $40. It's like unbeatable. And so, yeah, anyways, I've done barrel picks and all this stuff and Blanton's and everything else and E.H. Taylor, which I spent $100 on the other day in Pismo. Good, but not so much better that I need to like break the bank. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Did you go to a concert? No, not recently. Not recently. I don't go to many concerts anymore, honestly. Like, I remember, like, I went to a Weird Al concert. I am going to a concert in Sacramento recently. My buddy Prof, not my buddy, my buddy. He's a hip hop artist that I really have been following for years. He's incredible. I saw him last year when he came to Sacramento. I saw him in Denver. The guy's name's Prof. He's an incredible hip hop artist, and he's coming to Sacramento, so I'm going to go to that show. I'm going to be stoked on that one. Yeah, there we go. All right, I'm catching up. Jesus, you guys are I love how you guys are crushing chat right now. I'm trying to keep up as much as I can. I really am. John is in here. Gorilla Gravity is awesome. I rode a few years ago. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we rode we were both there. Yeah, I rode the Gorilla Gravities as well. Those are great bikes. I wonder how they're doing company-wise. I know that who was it that was sponsored by them? Was it Johan Borelli? He is not riding GGs anymore, so I'm not sure. Like, the bike industry is in such a weird place right now, guys. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on with it, but it's everyone's doing sales right now. They're trying to clear out inventory. So I have decided and discovered, and I've talked with a lot of creators on, we've chosen the wrong time to be successful at content creating in the mountain biking world. Like, honestly, like, it's the worst time, just the worst. Try to go ask a company for money right now. It's it's rough, but that's okay. That's okay. As long as you have a gorgeous mustache, that's all that matters. All right. Yeah, Brian. Yeah, what's up, man? All right. Let's see. I'm catching up with chat, and then we're going to tell some stories about why I was in LA. Look how quickly time goes by. We're almost a half hour in. You guys are awesome. Totally off MTB again. What kayak do you have? So I don't have anything fancy. I bought all my kayaks at Costco. Like, there was nothing fancy about them. I was just like, you know what? I want to get out on the water, and I bought one, and it was all I needed. Like, I don't do anything fancy with them. We just go out to the local lakes and stuff and jump on and go. So they were pretty cheap. There's nothing fancy about them. I love the idea of the paddle assisted, like fishing kayaks, but Who's gonna, what kind of maniac? We're gonna drop $2,500 or something on one of these fancy kayaks? Are you crazy? Are you crazy? I just get a boat at this point. Like, I don't understand like how expensive this stuff is. So and my other one's like a 12-foot fishing kayak I got from Costco. Great story. This is like if your wife ever tells you a story, this is exactly how it always goes. It's like, I bought it for $650, but then they discounted it. So I went back to the store and got my other $300 back. It was the best. It's like, yeah, well, my wife shows me she bought like a pair of shoes. I'm like, it was on sale. Like, yeah, okay, it's fine. I mean, you can buy shoes, it's fine. Okay, anyway, sorry, they're getting distracted. But yeah, they were cheap, but they've been working for years. And what more could I complain about? They're freaking awesome, dude. I love jumping on the kayaks. It's so nice. Let's see. Be warned, Spain is a different dialect. Yeah, I know. That's going to be interesting for me. I'll probably know 3 words, but I've been to Italy and stuff before. Most people speak English, and if not, you can just point to things. That's what I discovered in Italy when I wanted to order pizza or whatever on the street. You just like point that one. That's how big I want it. Maybe like that big. And then they just give you a slice, and you just give them some money, and you trust that they're not holding you over the coals. So what are you going to say? Shane, Scrimmage is in here. Shane, are you guys doing an event at North Star soon? Confirm in chat for me. When is that? Is that still going on? And I need the details. 100%. Oh, man, there you go. How far behind am I in chat? I have a good idea for a hardtail video. I just need a hardtail to make it. Like, I need a hardtail. This is why, like, I want, like, a bunch of different bikes. Like, I want a gravel bike. I want a hardtail. I want an e-bike. Not to ride them specifically, but because when I have a video idea, I need it to shoot stuff. Like, so, like, I have a funny idea for a hardtail video, but I don't have a hardtail. So if I'm going to put my full squish in there, people are going to comment about it. So I got to have a hardtail, and I have to either track one down by borrowing it or whatever. So what I want in a deal with a company is be like, look, I need one of each bike. I might not ride them all the time, but they will be in videos. Like when I want to make a joke about gravel biking or whatever, or I make a hardtail joke, like I just need them for props. The problem with that is my garage is just running out of space. Like it's just like ridiculous. So to add tons more bikes, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what's going to happen, but there you go. Joe, the good Joe from Trail Feature says the less formal a meetup is, the better for legal fees if someone hucks the face. Yeah, that's why I kind of don't even want to do like a riding situation. I know some creators are worried about doing group rides, and it's, there may be a level of liability. I've never thought that far into it. I suspect that if I was to host a group ride anyways, nobody would show up. So I don't know that I would have to worry about it too much. But I do get that stress of like, hey, I'm the one who invited everybody. I'm putting it on. Like my name's on the line. It's so hard to like walk those lines. I don't know. Let's see. Oscar says, the company Pit Viper. I have this crazy story how I got Pit Viper for free. Jesus, Oscar, you're taking up the whole chat. No, I'm just kidding. Yes, I answered. Dude, I'm catching up. Hold on. Roam the Loam says, love your videos. I tried making some, but I just don't have the drive. I tried and had fun, but I just can't do it. Yeah. And I think that's what happens with a lot of people. And there's nothing wrong with it. Like you discover how much work it is and you'd rather go ride. And unfortunately for me, I really enjoy making videos. So I tend to not ride. And I always think it's a funny, juxtaposition, if you will, that I'm a mountain bike content creator that can't ride his mountain bike because he has to go film something. So it's harder, man. There's a lot of sacrifices that have to be made instead of just going like, yeah, dude, let's like Brian Gong, like the Gonger, he reached out. He's like, you want to go ride? I'm like, I got to knock this thing out, like all this stuff. It's like, man, I can't go ride with friends because I have to go film something or, whatever else. It's definitely like a sacrifice that hopefully in the long run pays off. I think it's doing just fine. But you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to front load as much work as I can now so that if I had more time with it and I could just go film and then ride, like I would have a lot more spare time. But yeah, it's tricky. It is tricky. And a lot of people will start making stuff and they realize it's hard and they just kind of stop. Or they realize like, it was fun, but I don't want to do it. Like there's nothing wrong with any of that stuff. But the people that are consistent, that's why they generally tend to find successes because like they get better over those years because they just keep doing it. They just keep hammering away and there's something about it. I've always done it for the right reasons. I've done it because I wanted international superstardom and here we are. You know what I mean? God. All right. Okay. Here we go. Who? Jose? I did go to a concert. Did I answer that? I don't want to have to like ban anybody or mute anybody. I don't know. I should give. I don't know how I do this anymore. I used to be able to give people admin rights, but I don't know if I could do that. Hold on. Wait a minute. Aaron's in here. I don't know if I could do this. Hold on. I'm gonna scroll for a second. Here we go. I'm gonna give add as a moderator. Yes. Okay. Standard moderator. Yes. Oh, middle-aged master. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Sorry. I'm catching up with chat, but I didn't realize you could do this. Yeah. There's people in here that I trust. There are people in here that I trust. I know they know what they're doing. Yep. Okay. Stand by. All right. There. I appointed 2 people as moderators just in case it gets out of control, but there you go. Thank you guys. Joe from Trail Features donated $5. I appreciate you, brother. He said, I would like to place an order for 1 band stick, please. Yeah, there. Joe, how do you not have authority in this chat? I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm sorry this is getting out of control, but I guess I was really far behind in chat, guys. That is why this is happening. I apologize. My fault. It's just getting out of control, but there you go. I've got a couple people there. You guys let me know how it goes from here. Sorry, guys. I was very far behind in chat. I'm catching up. If I miss any of your questions, just ask them again. Jose, ideally, you don't go crazy in here and they don't have to mute you or whatever else, but there it is. We try to do our best in here. You guys just come in here and have fun. We'll do what we got to do. So, like I said, if I missed a question, you guys just ask it again. I was sorry. The only reason I didn't see that is because it turns out I was very far behind in chat. Answering as many questions as I can, but this is one of the reasons why I want to jump in here with you guys and talk. So I'm glad we could do this. If I have a guest on and stuff, we can't always ask questions in chat. So yeah, I'm glad you guys are here. Thank goodness. Yes. Seth was here, is in here. Good to see you, Seth. Seth's another guy who's really kind of pushing himself creatively on the old social media. And I always look for that. I always appreciate that. Somebody who's willing to put in the work to do an intricate edit and things like that. It's harder. It's far harder. But if you learn those skills, you stand out from the crowd, which brings me to one of the topics I want to talk about tonight. And this is going to be controversial, all right? But I want to get your guys' opinion on this, okay? Because I spend a significant amount of time on social media, and I don't actually enjoy consuming social media, as much as I should. Like, I enjoy putting stuff out, and I enjoy interacting with people after the fact and all that stuff. But the idea of watching it, I get bored very fast. And, like, I have to ask, this is controversial. Is mountain bike content boring? Like I think about what I see for the majority of content from mountain bike stuff. And it's not just creators. Like, creators are doing all fun stuff, telling stories and all that stuff. But I think of, like, from the marketing levels and things like that, what I see is like, it's just like riding stuff. And I know that's stupid because the whole point of mountain bikes is to ride bikes, and you have to somehow show that. And I'm not saying that like my content's better than theirs or anything like that. But what I'm saying is, like, it doesn't interest me. Like, when I watch like let's say a company puts out a thing of a bike and it's like, oh, in a dark room and it's like, I'm like, there's a bike. Like, it doesn't grab me. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, am I crazy? Am I taking crazy pills? Like, see a video of just like poorly cropped riding footage. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I might be losing my mind, guys. I don't know. I always talk about like mountain bike content's interesting because like the idea of a mountain bike podcast, like there's a lot of like really successful mountain bike people that are doing podcasts that doesn't seem to me that have big followings. I'm convinced like mountain bikers aren't a podcast crowd, or maybe I'm getting on a total tangent. I'm going to count on you to like bail me out of this one, guys. I'm going to count on you guys to bail me out of this one. Wannabe MTB says, I don't think it's boring, but it is repetitive and full of copycat videos. Yeah, maybe that's it. I don't know. It's like, I always think of the idea as like a lot of the stuff that I see. And if I scroll through social media, like I don't see anything like what I do or what Seabass does or what Jess does, or everything else is like, just like a standard thing or like whatever. And then like, if you look at marketing stuff, it's just kind of like, I've seen it all before. Like I see somebody shroud a berm in slow motion. Like I don't know. Like, how hard do you have to ride to one up the last riding hard video? And maybe that's the problem. Maybe we've reached the point where it's already so sick that it's like hard to top. Like what you have to top as a content creator, if you're putting out FPV footage, you have to top Remy, Metalier. You've got to top Johan. You've got to, like, these are the guys, like you look at that, you're like, this is like, it's like John Wick. Like the movie's John Wick. Like when you first saw it, it blew your mind. I watched John Wick 4 and I was like, this is too much. Like they're just trying to outdo themselves and it lost the magic. All right. Controversial topic number one. I just wanted to get it out. I don't know what I'm, it is what it is. New England MTB says all the same content, so we can get stale, but the different social media personalities are what make them stand out and be more interesting. 100%. I couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah. I think creators are doing great by telling stories. Like BCPOV is an incredible storyteller. I am not. Like, I wish I was better at it. It's something I would love to improve. Like, Single Track Sampler is incredible at telling stories and showing. Like, I really love watching Seth's, the backyard bike builds, Seth. Obviously, I like the other Seth too. But like watching Seth's videos are just so well structured and interesting that it's like, oh man, but those are the guys you have to top. Those are the leading guys. Like if you're going to go start building trails in your backyard, you've got to beat him building basically a turtle jump. Like you got to outdo a turtle jump. It's like, I can't outdo that. All you can hope to do is like something similar. But like, yeah, like the content creator side, like a lot of us are just doing incredible stuff. Like there's a bunch of people in chat too. Like, don't get me wrong. But almost like from a marketing perspective is maybe what I mean. I'm just like, I don't know. Like it just doesn't check with me. Like none of this stuff makes me want to buy a bike. Like I buy a bike because like I ride up and my buddy's like, dude, this bike's sick. You got to check it out. And you jump on it and you're like, this is sick. Like how did they find out about it? Who knows? Like it's such a weird thing. I just think of like SRAM. I thought of their marketing campaign with their, universal derailleur hanger thing or whatever it was. And they sent these boxes to every bike shop across the country and made them film promotional videos, like a short teaser that it was coming out. Like, hey, we've got a box. Like, they made bike shops do that. I know that for a fact. And like a lot of these bike shops aren't content creating places. Like, they don't know what the hell they're doing. And like, I don't blame them. But what I'm saying is like, I could see right through the veil. It was just like, hey, I've got a box. Check this box out. Let's build hype for this thing because I got a box. And I was like, come on, this is the best we got. Like, there goes any sponsorship opportunity. I've said it before, so that's whatever. I'm just, they're not paying me anyways. I screwed it over. Plus their brakes suck. All right. But their transmissions are really good. Everything's fine there. All right. Sorry everybody. I mean, I did install new brakes recently, but I will catch up with you guys. We're just, this is a touchy subject. I'm trying to dance around it properly. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Johnny says, yes, watching Remy makes me want to throw my bike away. I know. I watch him and that genuinely like makes me go like blows my mind. It's like, wow, but that's what we all got to top. It's so hard now. It's so hard. Brian, the old BKC, one of his primary driving is the fact that like he's ridden everything and he's still riding stuff. And it's like, he shows you the world of mountain biking. Like you see trails in Czech Republic, you see him in Spain, you see him in like all over the world. Man, he's so good at delivering that, something that we'll never see. He's doing it. And it's like, there's that angle, right? It's like so interesting. Aaron from MTB and Adventure says it's getting oversaturated. That's why I'm moving to more trail building stuff. Yeah. And even that's cyclical. I remember like in 2000, whatever, it was van build videos. Everybody was making a van build video. Now go try to make a van build video. There's no way. The audience is gone. Like what's the new thing for mountain biking? I don't know. It tends to go in phases. If you watch it, like everyone will start making, what frustrates me about it? Maybe this partially frustrates me. I know certain things will do well with mountain bike content, okay? And here's one of them. If you want to be a successful mountain bike content creator, you just gotta you gotta just make a how to jump video. And that's it. You gotta make a how to jump video and how to wheelie video, and you'll just get thousands of hundreds of thousands of views. That's the trick. And part of me sees that and I'm like, God damn it. How many of these can we have? How to corner, 1 million views. Like you just gotta make those videos. That's the thing that's going right now. If you go look at like Lone Ranger does incredible, like short, concise tutorial videos. You're like, it's a really well-structured video. You're like, damn it, they'll just crush. They always crush. Sorry. Again, distracted. There's a lot of good Seths. Yes, there is. There's a lot of good of them. Oh my God. Yeah, there he is. Enduro says it's pretty hard to do. There's lots of you out there. Yeah, your shorts are awesome. Make me laugh a ton. Thank you, man. It's always about variety, mixing it up. And I think we're right. With content creators like us, our personalities shine through. So no matter if I made the same like bike video that Joe from Trail Features, man, we got the same bike, our content would be wildly different. And you're coming from the personalities, it's not necessarily for the bike. And sometimes it is. So there's all that stuff. I think of like, again, this is why I say it's a controversial topic because a lot of us are content creators. So it's like, man, but sometimes I watch stuff and I'm just like, oh God, another how to wheelie video. Damn it. And then I watch it and I'm like, I still don't know how to wheelie. Maybe that's why I get pissed off. Like I was watching Eric Porter's video on how to do a wheelie and he's doing it with his sons. And then it cuts to like 2 weeks later and his son's absolutely crushing it. I'm like, damn it. I need to get out there and wheelie because I got to quit screwing around because I need it for jokes and videos. So I need to get better at wheeling. Maybe that's what it is. Oh my God. Yeah, exactly. James says, I have the Lone Ranger. You've got to stand up to jump stuck in my head every time I'm jumping. Yeah. And so there's still so much value to that. I mean, there really is. And it's an everlasting topic is like how to get better on your bike. So I don't know. Anyways, that's with controversy. I'll let you discuss amongst yourselves. If you just go make a how to wheelie video and you'll crush it. I would love to like make a satirical how to be a successful mountain bike YouTuber in 2023 video, but like it'd be so niche nobody would watch it anyways. But like I think it's funny. I think it's funny. I always thought I really wanted to do once, and I had this idea before we move on to the next topic. I had the idea of doing a video once where it was like how to do a mountain bike review, you know, because everybody does like a mountain bike review or whatever. I thought it'd be funny as hell just to satire the mountain bike review. Like, but anyways, maybe one of these days, I still think in my head, it could be funny as hell. Like I had the vision of starting the video with like a bike being fed down from a helicopter, like a helicopter drop, like put in the helicopter sound effects, like, you know, and the wind. So there's like the rotor blades are blowing air down on me like this. And I'm sitting here and the bike's coming down slowly like this. And then like, as the camera pans out, you realize it's just two guys on top of like really tall ladders, like slowly lowering the bike down on a rope, you know, like that's my envision of how the review starts. Now, also, like, in addition to that, I thought would be funny is if the reveal of the bike was ridiculous too. Like you had, you know, like you've got to have it wrapped in a tarp and then you've got to have it wrapped in Christmas wrap. Like I want it like 4 times wrapped. Like, so where every time you reveal it, there's another like cover on it. Like, so it's just like you spend a minute doing this gag, this bit, right? And then I thought the best would be like if I was to hook up like the tarp or whatever over it to a tow hitch of the Tacoma, and then somebody hauled ass down the street to unveil it for the final moment. Like, and then you just got to hold it and then like it goes flying like this. You're like, this is the bike. Welcome to Bike 2023. It's got 2 millimeters more in the head tube or whatever. Like, there you go. Like geez. All right. So I've told you the whole concept. Now there's no point in making the video. I think it'd be funny as hell. Mesh is in here. Trail Mesh, good to see you, buddy. I can't believe you actually made it, dude. I like your style. I got to learn to wheelie to get views. Yeah, you got to learn how to wheelie. All right, everybody just get out there and just go wheelie. And like, you know what's funny? I can almost wheelie. I can get a couple pedals in. I just can't get the long stretch. I just got to practice. And all it does, you could just do it in front of your house. Just sometimes get home and I don't sit around and wheelie for 30 minutes, which I should because I would be good in no time. Like it won't take me very long. I just need consistency. That's all you need. Middle-aged Master says, do a video on how Santa Claus delivers bikes to every kid in the same time. It could be a Calirado Claus. Man, you know what I really wanted to do years ago before I even developed a big following? And I still like have it in me to do this, but it takes so much work, these live streams. Like I wanted to do like a Calirado Kid Christmas special, you know, like an old variety show where it's like I bring all kinds of creators in live and pre-recorded, like read Christmas stories, but make them into like mountain bike stories, like just adjust them a little bit so they're mountain bike tales, like sit by the fire with a pipe and a glass of whiskey and tell, like, right? And have like prizes delivered, do giveaways. Like I want to do, you know how much that time that takes to get like, like 1,000 views? Like, it's just like, it's so much, but I still in my heart kind of want to do it. So if you ever see the Calirado Kid holiday special as a live stream, tell your friends, tell everybody. I'll promote the hell out of it because it would be a ton of work. I wouldn't get anything out of it, like, but it would just be funny to me. I'd love to have like BCPOV like reading a Christmas story in his Canadian accent. And he's got that. Well, we're reading stories today, and you know what I mean. Like he's got that like that where it goes like today, and every time he talks, like I just love it. Like I could listen to him all day. You know, me, there's 2 people. My voice, I could listen to all day, and his voice, I could listen to all day. Listen to it all day today. You know, it's like that. You guys know what I'm talking about? You guys know what I'm talking about. Oh, my God. Okay, so I promised you guys a story about Hollywood, okay? And we're going to do it right now. So recently, and if you guys are paying attention to my social media, if not, you don't have to. It's fine. But the bottom line is, recently, I made a trip to LA. Okay, I got a phone call. I wish I had my prop. I do have a phone, but I have my prop phone out there. I got a phone call. And that phone call said, hey, we're looking for somebody to come down to LA. As a production studio out of LA, they reached out to me. And what they were doing is, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. What they were doing is they wanted me to help come be part of a Subaru campaign. So this is cool because, like, one, anytime you can get involved with a production company, you can learn a lot. So it's a good opportunity right there out of the gates. Like, yes, let's do it. But more importantly, it's interesting because, like, as you look at the write-up and what the plan is, now I'm talent. Like, so to me, let me tell you a little backstory about me. So I have worked in radio for a long time. I've been on the air like years and years ago, not that long. All right. Believe it or not, with this voice, it's preposterous. They should be paying me $1 million. But I'm an engineer. I build radio stations, maintain them and stuff like that. So for the longest time, I was the guy who set up the broadcasts for the talent for years and years and years and years. I don't do it much anymore because I don't have time for it. All right. But I would set up the broadcast for these broadcasters, and they'd show up, they'd do their broadcast. I would break down and I would take the gear, and like, it was my responsibility. I was behind the scenes guy. So it's a bit surreal now that I'm the talent. Like, I show up and there's people surrounding me doing stuff for me. It's so weird. Like, I still am like, hey, let me help. Let me carry this. I still, when I'm on set, I do this stuff. But the bottom line is, this worked out perfectly because my buddy was doing a bachelor party in Pismo Beach that weekend. And LA is like not that far from Pismo. It's down in Southern California. So I was like, I'll drive out and we'll make it happen. So we get down there and it takes place. My call time is at 1 p.m. on Friday. And this is when before I shot that Hollywood video I put out recently where I'm looking through the thing at the Hollywood sign. We were kind of in that area. So my call time's 1 o'clock. So I show up, we grab lunch, and then I've already got the script. It's all voiceover stuff and the shot list and all that stuff. This is crazy. Here's the crazy thing. So think about like what I do. I don't have a squad of people with me, right? So like Seabass is one of the only ones of us that has like his brother and Matt helping him film and do everything all the time. I'm solo, man. I got to write it. I got to script it. I got to shoot it. I got to do everything. So it's as a solo artist, right? Essentially, it's so fascinating to me when you get on set and there's 10, 12 people on set, right? You got a sound guy, camera person, director. You've got all these people just there to line the shots and do all this stuff. And it's like, man, whenever I'm on set, and I could say it, I'm on set, I sound like a Hollywood artist, don't I? When I'm on set, I'm always talking to people, asking questions like, what are you guys doing? How can I help? Like, whatever. But it's fascinating to me because it's a massive undertaking comparatively to what I do, right? And so it's so cool. Everybody was great. So they get me on set, and it's like to unveil, I think it's a TikTok campaign, so it's not going to be like an actual Subaru commercial, but what it is like the new Crosstrek 2024 Wilderness. So they bring me out there, and the concept of the video is going to be like not a 9 to 5, but what do you do in the 5 to 9? So the idea is like your outdoorsy stuff, and so they brought in a little bit of a Calirado feel, but it's weird being on a video set that I didn't write and all that stuff. It was crazy. So it's like we're adapting a bit of my personality to this, and I think it's going to come out really good. But it was wild to be on set and see this stuff, and just, you know, you saw some behind the scenes clips. They're calling action and all this stuff, and then we got to line up the next shot. Then when we're doing this, right, we're out there, we're shooting this video. You've got to get the car in every shot, and you got to load the bike on the top. Which, by the way, as a side note, I had never put a bike up on the top rack of a vehicle because I have the truck, so I just throw it in the hitch mount all the time, right? I just throw it in the truck bed. So we would do the shots, and I'm trying to get the bike up on top of the Subaru, and I was just screwing it up. Like, it took me a couple times to really get the right technique down. I am not familiar with that, but I got pretty decent at it. So anyways, it's just so interesting because you've got so many people around on set, you know, calling action, doing all that stuff. And I've got to just perform, you know? And so like, as this starts to unveil, we're just crushing it. We're doing great on time. And so this is awesome. Then we got to do the voiceovers. And so like, we've shot most of the shots and we've got to do some of the voiceovers. So we got to get inside the car and shoot it because it's quiet in there. I'm here to tell you, it was hot, man. It was dripping sweat while we're doing the voiceovers. Now, one thing that's advantageous is because when I deliver lines to the videos that I shoot on a regular basis, I deliver them a bunch of different ways because I never know what's going to be funniest. So like, I'm kind of familiar with different inflections on how to pronounce something. And you guys are familiar with this. Like, say, for example, I'm like, hey, that's a nice car. Hey, that's a nice car, right? You know the difference between delivering the lines like this. So when we're doing the voiceovers for this thing, you've got to deliver the lines like 3 to 5 times a piece. And then you'll have somebody kind of correct you and say, hey, like, okay, I like that. Could we put the emphasis on that? And you're like, okay, we can put the emphasis on that, right? So like you have to do that. And I'm lucky that doing this content creation the way that I've done it has prepared me for that sort of stuff. Well, so it's like, man, I didn't feel uncomfortable at all. Like the acting gig that I got recently, like a couple months ago, where I was part of a short film, that was nerve-wracking. That was delivering lines. That was like the whole set of people acting with other people. This was still me in a solo act. Like there were still like 10, 12 people around filming, but it was crazy. Now here's a funny story as well, because we were talking about this idea of like covering up logos, because I was taking a drink of my Red Bull at the beginning of the stream and somebody was like, oh, look at him strategically not showing the Red Bull logo because he wants to get sponsored. It's not what I was doing on purpose, but it's funny how this all worked in the video because they didn't want any logos on anything. And you come to realize how many logos are on your bike. It's astronomical. So I have this video. Can I bring this up? I don't know. I should have prepared a little bit better here, but I have this video. Stand by. I know my phone's out of storage. I get it. All right. Every time it warns me. I have this video. Look at this. You guys will see this. This is a collection of people trying to cover up all the logos on my bike. Okay. Stand by. Did I hit the, yeah, there it is. Look at how many, you got 4 people here trying to cover the logos on my bike. Now think about like where all the logos are on your bike. Go look at your bike for a second and you're going to realize how long this took. They've got rolls of duct tape and they've got, I was like, there was a couple things that like made me nervous. I was like, I don't really care about the stickers and stuff. That's fine. But like, then the guy started taking duct tape and wrapping around the stanchions. And I was like, whoa. Okay, that's one place. Let's take it easy. Let's slow down for a second. I'm not even like a bike nerd like that, but I was like, that's one place where we don't want to put duct tape. And so he gets like, just paper tape or whatever. So we're able to cover that up. But man, oh man, we had to cover the logos on the helmets, on the packs, on the knee pads. They were covering up the MIPS logos on it was like down to the wire. So we're sitting here covering up the logos. Now I must have added an extra 2 pounds to my bike at this point. We got everything covered. And it took me forever to pull all these logos off the bike, forever. But then I thought about it and I was like, man, I should just leave those logos covered up. You know what I mean? Like, well, that's the strategic play here because right now I'm just giving it away for free. I was like, man, I should just cover every logo on the bike. And I'm like, I'm kind of considering it. It took me forever to get all the tape off. But anyways, that was like a funny thing that happened. Just like how many people it took just to get the bike taped up and the logos covered. I thought it was pretty interesting. Now, in addition to that, I didn't know if you knew that I was incredibly acrobatic. So for one of the takes, the idea of this shoot is that it's your 5 to 9, right? You could, and so one of the lines is like delivered like this. It's like, look, I love mountain biking, but you might, what was it like? I'm screwing it up. I don't have the script in front of me, all right? Take it easy. Don't eat me alive, guys. Just take it easy. So anyways, one of the lines is like, I love mountain biking, but whether you're into yoga or whatever, like, you can still do it. Anyways, that was the idea. And one of them was like cliff jumping. And so I was like, well, what if I jumped out of the tree? So let me just show you. So I decided to set up the camera while they've already got their camera down below. You can see what's going on here, right? And so I'm like, I can get this. This is easy enough. Look at the athleticism here. The sheer upper body strength, okay? Boom, superhero landing. Absolutely incredible. So we do 2 takes of this. Yeah, you can hear him cracking up. So like, this is like, yeah, look at this. Nail this one on the first time. I jump up to the tree, wrap the legs around, and then here comes watch the superhero landing here. Boom. I mean, incredible. It doesn't really get much better. So the bottom line is the Calirado Kid going to Hollywood? Maybe. Think about like, this is an opportunity. Stuff like this that comes up, I like doing it. I learn stuff by watching the set and how it all goes. And it was a hell of an experience. So I just wanted to tell you guys what I was doing out there because I was teasing some stuff on social media. It was really cool, man. It was really cool. All right, I'm going to catch up on chat here, and then you guys can ask me any questions you want. Okay, wait a minute. I'm catching up. You should ride a Pivot Mach 6. I don't know if I've ever ridden a Pivot. I might have. Brian Gong says, congratulations. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, it's cool getting those emails and those phone calls and those opportunities. And I tend to lean towards yes. Like, I can learn stuff on set, and it, you get paid to go do something cool like that and just being the talent side of things is wow, it's pretty crazy. So they're going to give me a heads up when they're done editing it. So they've got a director, they've got a videographer, they've got a sound guy, they've got a separate guy that's going to edit it. Like it's a whole massive team. It's just me doing everything for myself. And I realized like, holy crap, man, like I do this stuff by myself and it seems like a lot, but then you see that you're like, it is a lot. It's a lot. anyways, they're gonna, within a couple weeks, they should have that edited. And there's no like need for me to share it, but I think I'll probably just, you know, put it out there anyways. Be like, hey, go check it out, because it's kind of a cool thing, and it's kind of interesting doing something for Subaru. You know, like I think that's cool. You know, anyways, that's my Subaru story. I'm gonna shooting a commercial for Subaru. How about that? You know, it's a little yeah, that's cool. You never know what's gonna happen, man. All you gotta do is just be open-minded and stay consistent with stuff, and weird things might pop into your lap, and you just gotta say, yeah, man. You know, it could be inconvenient. You know, it could be driving 6 hours to get down there and all that stuff. But I was like, yeah, let's do it. You know, it's super fun and it's super unique and it's a good story to tell. So it was really cool. Amanda says, wait, is it for social media campaign or commercial for TV? Was it a trade for Subaru? Yeah, they didn't give me a Subaru, unfortunately, but it's going to be a social media campaign. So it's going to be on their stuff. It's not going to be on my page. So if I share it, they handled everything. I was just the talent. So they had already written the shots and everything. They already had everything. They scoped out the site ahead of time and all this stuff. So they handled everything. Okay, so the real question is, did they give you a Subaru? No, unfortunately not. I did get to drive the thing around. You've got to get all the shots of me driving inside the car. And like, there's a shot where like the boss calls and it comes up on the sat nav and I hit ignore. You know, you're like, get out of here. You know, I'm enjoying the weekend. That's kind of the idea. So it's kind of a cool experience and you guys will see it. I wish I could have captured more behind the scenes, but you know, I always like to talk to people when I'm on like I like saying on set. When I like to talk to people, learn, and all that stuff. So it was a pretty wild experience, and I'll try to share it on Instagram or whatever else when they do release it, and you guys could check it out. I'm a little bummed that short film that I did that was basically hired out from for a corporate thing. Like I never actually saw it, and that was like months ago that we filmed that, and like that was a big undertaking. That was a massive, like that was actually acting. And that was scary as hell. And I never actually got to see the result. I'm kind of bummed. I think they were going to do a screening, but I couldn't like drive down to San Francisco for it. And so I was hoping to share that with you guys because I would love to see it. But I never actually got to see that where I actually played a role in a short film. I still haven't seen it to this day. I still want to. Like I just like I messaged him. I was like, hey, like can you just send me a link or something? Like, oh, we can't. It was like I was like, oh. So I don't know if I'll ever see it, which is kind of a bummer. You know, but it was like, maybe it's because I totally screwed up and they just cut me out entirely. Maybe they just don't want to tell me. But I was pivotal to the role, right? I had dialogue and everything. You know, it was one of these days. One of these days I'll track it down. One of these days. It was gaff tape. Yeah, exactly. No, it was, they used some other tape. Yeah, exactly. God, they tried to screw up my stanchions. For how much of a buffoon I am with bike stuff, that's one thing I knew. I was like, hey, whoa, don't put it on the Kashima coating, all right, buddy? Get your hands off the Kashima coating. Take it easy. Take it easy. How tall am I? I think I'm 5'10". I haven't measured in a long time, and I can't imagine that's changed, but I was 5'10" last time I memeasured myself. Owen says, thanks for the chamois butter, dude. Great note in the box. Awesome. Chamois butter is such a rad company, Owen. I'm glad you got a giveaway. They are a really cool company, and they get it. They're stoked to be involved. If I ask them for anything, they're stoked to be involved with it. So if you guys ever have an option for chamois butter stuff, always go with chamois butter. They're a great company. Did any of the crew know who you were, or were they a bunch of non-bikers? Yeah, they didn't really know much about mountain biking. I asked them how they found me. They said they just got a scout. Like the guy, one of the guys tracked me down and saw my videos. And there's okay, so I will say that like the amount of work that I put into videos is not conducive to success on social media. Like, because like most of the videos that are shot on social media are just on cell phones, which is totally fine. You don't need anything more than that to tell the story. And so I film on a very expensive camera. I put a lot of work into the editing and all that stuff. And so like I've had several people tell me recently that's why they wanted to work with me. And I'm like, okay, well, it does stand out from the crowd. So I appreciate that from that regard. But it's not necessary to be successful on social media at all. Like most of the stuff, you just want to have a short clip of something funny and it'll do fine. But anyways, I think that was cool. I think it's one of the reasons why they found me is they saw, you know, the quality and the work that I put in. So when we were on set, like I was like, hey, what about this angle right here? And they're like, okay, cool. So like, I didn't feel uncomfortable. That was right in my element for that. So it was really pretty interesting. All right, hold on. What a great experience, says Johnny. That's awesome. Yeah, it was really cool. It was really cool. And I'm stoked. Like I said, I tend to err on the side of yes. And that's how I learn the most. Get out of your comfort zones. I'm happy to do it. Like I like to just be wildly uncomfortable. That's how I learn the most. And it just helps propel me at what I do. I can pick up tips and tricks and watch set stuff and figure it all out. Jonah Smith, what's up, brother? He says, dude, a little off topic. I love your channel. I'm working on building a bit of an Instagram following. Do you have any tips? Yeah. So One, when I first started, like the real trick to gaining followers on Instagram was trending audio. I think it's still a very big part of like Instagram. I don't really play that game anymore. I just kind of, because they can take the audio away sometimes at any point. So I just like, I got mad at that and I just started using a music service. But like, keep an eye out for trending audio. That will, using that stuff will tend to propel your content a little bit further along. There's several things that do really well on social media. One is funny stuff. I mean, if it's funny, it's relatable, you know, that tends to do well. Two is informative stuff. So if it's like, hey, here's 3 ways to fix your seat, you know, informative, but it's got to be fast. You have to be as fast and brutal on the cuts as you can to sell the point. Don't stay longer than you need to. Don't be like, hey, so today I'm going to tell you how to fix it. Nobody cares. Just say 2 ways to fix a seat. Fix it. You know what I mean? Like, it's got to be so tight that people don't have time to click away. Like, it's got to be fast. And if you're going to make a successful short form video, this is for everybody out there, it's got to start with a bang. It's got to pose a problem. It's got to pose like something's in your face right out of the gate. Like, that's what you just, because think about how people consume social media. They're just going to flip. So it's going to be like my recent video, I'm like, which one was it? I was like, did you know that 72% of bikers don't wear helmets or whatever? It's like, oh, I didn't know that. Like, and then you've got them hooked. Or like the other video that did really well recently on YouTube, it got like a couple million views within a couple weeks, was the tire one. It was like, hey man, like there's something wrong with my tire. Like, I posed a problem right out of the gate. So it like, okay, well, what's the problem? What's going on? Like, it's got to be fast, and you got to try and grab them right out of the gate and not let them go. Okay, that's the best. Those are some good tips. I don't want to go too far into the social media thing. I could talk about it all night, but we're not going to. Okay, but it's fine. Best trick is not to fall. Yeah, that's really the trick to anything, isn't it? Do you prefer hardtail or full suspension? It's got to be full suspension. I haven't ridden a hardtail in so long, sports kid. Like I said, I need to get a hardtail for jokes anyways, but like one of these days I'll ride another one. But yeah, that's kind of the thing nowadays. People are reverting back to hardtails and telling us how awesome it is. No, I just spent 10 grand on a bike. Are you kidding me? I'm not buying a hardtail. Take it easy. Yeah. All right. Oh yeah. You should try to ride a Big Sky bike park. Where's Big Sky, Oscar? Where's that? How did Everyman Jack get to you? So that was another interesting one as well. I feel like they reached out, and I don't remember how they found out about me. I don't know if I ever asked, but like they reached out, and I immediately like was very curious. I knew the product, but I had never really used it. So it was great. Like one of the things we talked about over the phone, and I didn't realize how big they were when we talked on the phone. This guy, Lucas, he was really cool. He's super great dude. Anyways, we talked on the phone, and we kind of went over some ideas and whatever else. And I was like, yeah, this sounds great. And one of the things that they were adamant about is wrapping in a trip to the headquarters. And to me, like, that's something that I would have suggested right out of the gate too. Like, let me come down there and hang out with everybody and see what's behind the curtains, you know? Incredible experience, really cool company. I know people that use the products, they dig it. I use the products nonstop now. I got an endless supply, so of course I do. But yeah, I don't remember how they originally find out about me. So that's kind of interesting. A lot of the stuff that I get, and I don't know if I've talked about this, a lot of the stuff, the people tend to reach out to me. And then there's just tons of emails from like weird random Chinese e-bike companies and stuff that I just ignore because it's just not what I would do with it. There's nothing I would do with it. But then a gem will pop through. And this will kind of bleed into the next conversation I want to talk about with you guys real quick as well, because I think this is interesting. So let me ask you guys a question. And before I get to it, Proteoid says, going to play Starfield, Joe? Yes, I will. Although what I'm seeing from Starfield, which is a video game from Bethesda, who's made Skyrim and a bunch of other stuff. I do like gaming, by the way. I just don't have as much time to do it anymore. The only thing that I can see based on gameplay footage and what I expected too is like they're so behind the curve with their gaming, with their engine. It just looks like crap. Like, and it, you know, it's just so behind. Their engine is so behind. Like, I want to take my ship and fly it down to the planet, like in Star Citizen or No Man's Sky or, you know, Everspace or whatever it is. And instead you get loading screens and all this stuff. I just like, sorry, I'm getting on a tangent, but like the tech behind that company is so far behind. I wish they would just revamp it, but they haven't. So I'm not that excited for it, but I got it with Game Pass, so I'll try it next week. I'm sure it'll be fun, but like it just, the AI looks really terrible. Like it's just like, it looks like an old game. And like most of the games now can't figure out this stuff. They still have, all right, sorry, I don't want to talk about video games all night. I could, but I'm not going to. I do have an Xbox, but I mostly just play on the PC back here. I got to show you guys something I got for this, by the way. Look at this. Hold on. Well, you guys are here. I got you. You're here anyways, right? Like, okay, hold on. Stand by. I made a rash purchase recently, and I may have gone a little bit overboard. Hold on, stand by. Look at this thing. Oh my god. Okay, so I went ahead and bought this giant gaming monitor. I already had like a really high refresh monitor, but I bought this thing recently, which is an OLED ultra wide 34-inch high refresh rate gaming monitor. You don't want to know how much this thing cost, all right? And I'm not even going to say how much it costs because my wife might watch this, all right? But look, it's a business expense. And really, having an ultra-wide is great for editing, so it's, like, good for that. But, yeah, it's an OLED gaming monitor. It's, like, unreal. The problem is, I bought an OLED monitor in my living room, and I can't go back. It's one thing I have. I'm a nerd when it comes to, like, picture quality, and I can't go back. Like, the OLED is too good. It's too good. All right. It's just the pure blacks. The color reproduction is perfect. It's unreal. And then I had my other gaming monitor, and I would go from the OLED to that, and I'm like, I can't do it. I just can't. So, boy, yeah, we're in deep. We're in deep, ladies and gentlemen. We're in deep. But I got to offset some of the costs for Spain here, so we're going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. Seth was here, says Elite Dangerous. Yeah, by the way, if you haven't played Elite Dangerous with a VR headset and a HOTAS, like a stick, and it's one of the coolest gaming experiences of all time. Look, and just like that, I've lost a ton of viewers. Sorry, guys, we talked about video games, but here's what I want to ask you guys. This is a serious question for everybody in chat, because I'm kind of curious about this. Now, I've been approached, and I am going to be working with this company, and I've talked to them a bunch, because, like, you know, integrity is important to what I do, and anybody that knows and does content creation, it's important that when we put our name on something, that it's not like something that's going to screw people over and stuff like that. And so I spent a bunch of time really deliberating, working with them, and like I've had conversations, and like everything seems on the up and up. Everything seems really rad. They seem like really cool people. So I have to ask you guys this question. Do you know about or have you used bike insurance? Because when I talked to them about this, and I was like, man, that makes a lot of sense. Like, I know a lot of people saying their bikes are getting stolen or getting broken and all this stuff. And like, I was like, I've never thought about getting bike insurance. But as soon as I said it out loud, I was like, that makes a lot of sense to me. Because, you know, again, like I heard of a lot about theft lately and having all that stuff. So I was like, wow, I didn't even think about it, but it makes a ton of sense. And so this company, Sunday's Insurance, we're going to be working together on a video. And I was like, man, that's so interesting. Because they have some really cool stuff. So I was like, well, okay, like, how does that work if you like travel or whatever? They're like, any local travel is covered as long as you're not a dum-dum and leave it unlocked on your car in a hotel or something. I'm like, okay, that's reasonable. That makes sense. And then it was like, well, what about if you travel like internationally or whatever? You can add that temporarily on. I was like, that's cool. And they were like, oh, yeah, you can add like temporarily like race season. So if you race for 3 months of the year or whatever, you can add that insurance in. So if something happens during the race, and you can just cancel it after that. So like, you can have your base plan, and then you can add like, you know, little extras depending on what you're doing or whatever. Anyways, I thought like with the amount of bikes that are getting stolen and how expensive stuff is, like if you spent 12 grand on an e-bike, like it seems logical to me at this point to like, especially because we beat the hell out of these things. Does anybody have any experience with that? Have you guys worked with a company? Have you considered it? I'm just curious for myself. Because again, when I heard it out loud, I was like, that actually kind of makes sense these days with how expensive these things are. Like, I'm surprised more people don't do it, or maybe it's wrapped into their home insurance or whatever. I don't know. I'm genuinely curious on if anybody has done that. Spot insurance through Fat Track EMBA membership. Oh, interesting. Okay. I think renters or homeowners insurance covers bike theft even away from your home. Am I wrong? See, I've heard that as well, CBH. I'm not sure if that's true. Like, not everybody has renters insurance and everything. Oscar wants my Xbox handle. Yeah, I'll give it out one of these days. I don't use it that much. That's the problem. And my son uses it, so it'd be a weird thing. Otherwise, I would. Let's see. In New Zealand, bikes come under household insurance at home or car insurance, the bike park, but both need to be locked. Okay, interesting. Robert McKay says, I think you should hit up a virtual mountain bike video game so you never have to leave your couch, stay at home and play on your computer. My God, the problem is you'd never get exercise. That's the I guess if you put it on a trainer. Here's the problem with VR, by the way. You just get to be a sweaty mess. Can you imagine that? Like, it's gross, dude. That's the problem. It would just be gross. No insurance needed, says Robert McKay. Interesting. Okay, so, I mean, it's like hit or miss. I've thought about it. Again, to me, like, working with a company that's specifically dedicated for that, especially if it was going to be, like, added into the race season and stuff, and really, like, that stuff covers, I was like, that kind of makes sense. anyways, so I just thought I'd put it out there. I'm kind of curious in general from your guys' perspective. So there it is. If you guys have any insight onto that, let me know. What's your favorite trick on a mountain bike? Yeah, that's hard to say. Like nothing, it's got to be the manual, right? Like, cause anybody could do a manual if they take the time to get good at it. And it's always impressive. Like if you see somebody just manual and you're like, that's so cool. Like it's never not cool, right? Am I wrong? I've got it. It's 100% right. It's got to be right. Yeah, Oscar says, my brother has VR and he is a sweaty mess. Can confirm. Yeah, it does. Like, I don't use my VR very much anymore. I think the experience is really cool. I don't like being shut off from the world like that. Like, if the wife and kids were away for the weekend, and I know somebody's going to make a VR porn joke here, but, like, if they're away for the weekend, then I could just, like, shut the door and, like, put it on and play Half-Life or whatever. But the idea that somebody's going to interrupt me or sneak up on me at any point, like, I just, like, I feel so weird being just isolated like that. And then, like, if you're doing something stupid, like, I've played Half-Life in VR before, and you're like, you know, like this, and, like, somebody's looking at you. You're just thinking about, like, somebody's definitely looking at you, laughing at you. I've got, I've anybody that's ever come over and I showed them VR in this studio, like, it's blown their mind. If you've never played it before, it will blow your mind. Like, anybody that tries it, it's like you can't describe it until you try it. So if you haven't tried it, find a way to try it. Trust me, it's like, it's mind-blowingly cool. All right, back to mountain bikes. Here we go. I had a bike. Johnny says, I had a bike. My wife's e-bike stolen, but the deductible was half the cost of the bike. So I just bought her another. Yeah. So I was looking at the deductibles on this one, and it was like, say, an $8,000 bike. I think it was like $250 or something. It wasn't that bad. That's pretty reasonable. So I don't know. I didn't think like it was crazy. I don't know everything, but there it is. There it is. I've tried a manual and eaten it. Yeah, I'm sure I'm going to crash soon. I'm convinced I'm going to get good at doing a manual. Maybe I'll make a how to manual video. Wouldn't that be great? And then I'd be really successful. I'll figure it out. My favorite trick is to crash as Seth was here on flat ground doing nothing cool. Yeah, I can relate to that. I can relate to that as well. 100%. Johnny says, my best trick is not falling. It's a good topic. It's a good topic. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. So, wait, okay. You know what I was thinking about also? And this is an interesting topic I'll broach to you guys because I was thinking about this. Maybe this is one of the final topics. You never know. Sometimes these go very long. Again, thanks for everybody to tune in on this Friday. I know you could be doing better things with your Friday night, but here we are hanging out with me, and I appreciate it. So I was thinking about things that are unnecessarily hard. And like, it wasn't necessarily a bike-related thing that popped into my head, but I was thinking of like, say, for example, like windshield wipers on your car. Like, why is it that every car has a different way to put on windshield wipers, and like it's never like easy. Like there's always some little hook where you got to, I know this is off topic, but it's kind of topical. Like it's not like a process where you're like it snaps in and you walk away. It's always like you got to take a piece off, then you got to hook it around this hook and then lock that in. And like it's always like a question like, how have vehicles been manufactured for so long? And this is still a complicated procedure. Like, shouldn't it just be like, boom, just like, right? Like, what's going on? Somebody spent a lot of time and effort engineering these things, and this is where we're at still. Like, I think of like, are there anything in your lives that you're like, why is this overly complicated? Like, why is this not easier by now? Like, you'd think we have it figured out. I don't know why that popped into my head, but I was curious. I didn't think about specifically on bike stuff, although I have gotten better. Rainbow Friends, Looky, thanks for subbing, man. I appreciate you. Good to see you. I have noticed recently that I've become basically an expert bike mechanic. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I installed brand new TRP brakes, rotors, center lock, everything on the new Bird wheel set, put it on the bike myself. And thus far, nothing has fallen off the bike. I've only gone about 2 rides since I got it on there, but nothing has fallen off. So basically, I'm a professional bike mechanic now. All right. I just wanted everybody to know it. Just so there's no misconceptions about what's really going on in this place. All right. But I got the new TRP brakes on. I got the center locks. I got the 203 rotors, 2.3 millimeter thickness. They're massive. And boy, oh boy, do those things break. I'm going to tell you right now, they are punchy as hell. And I got the levers from Freedom Cycling, the shortened levers for them. If you guys aren't paying attention on Instagram, I talk about it in my stories. But dude, those things are good. They're properly good. Compared to the brakes I had, which were the SRAM G2s or whatever, they felt like marshmallows compared to this. Like, it's just punchy as hell, and I'm really excited about it. I can't wait to go to just shred on those things. It's so good. Anyways, with the Bird wheel set, they're super light. What a crazy adventure just putting all that stuff on, but wasn't as hard as you think. I thought it would be way harder. Bleeding it was pretty straightforward. I had a bleed kit and everything. It was not a big deal. Side note, Jeff says, I looked at insurance, was so expensive. A year's premium is basically the cost of a new bike. Basically, homeowners is usually enough by itself. Yeah, see, I was interested about that, Jeff, because like I think I had quoted mine. It was like $50 a month or less, and it was like for an $8,000 bike. So I don't know. Like again, I don't know anything about it. So I'm just counting on you guys to get some insight into that. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, but there you go. Okay. Yes. Wait a minute. I'm catching up on chat. Sorry. Don't know what could be better than enjoying a beer and hanging out with the Calirado Kid. 100%. I still want to do like a gathering at some point. I did a company barbecue where I smoked 12 racks of ribs and 4 tri-tips the other day. And I was like, man, I need to do this for us. Let's just go hang out. I'll bring a bunch of ribs or whatever. People could bring some sides. We'll go ride and we'll eat barbecue afterwards. And it'll be an amazing time. I still am convinced I want to do this, but like, man, my time is so scarce these days that it's like, it interrupts doing cool stuff that I think would be fun to hang with people and all that stuff. It's like, even this weekend, there's friends that are reaching out, like Brian DeGong. He's like, hey, where are we riding? I'm like, man, I got to go film this thing. I got to like, it eats into my like actual enjoyment of the sport. And I need to like take a step back sometimes, I think, and just like go have fun. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I do like the idea of it. How are the bird spokes? They're light as hell. I haven't beat them up too much yet. They're still nice, white and clean, and they look sexy. They're really cool. They're really cool. I will say the first ride I got on them, the bird spokes, since you guys don't know, they're like the polyethylene or whatever, the ultra molecular wait, I had that memorized at one point. The ultra lightweight polyethylene, whatever. Anyways, they're like shoestrings kind of. Anyways, it felt like it was a little bit more like almost like this, and it felt cool. Like it just kind of like, I don't know how to describe anything that I could talk about with bike parts, but they are very light. They're very strong, and they felt like a little bit more supple. Like they said, they improved damping, and I could feel that. I could feel it. Like it just feels plush, a little bit more plush on the trail. It's the best way I could describe it. But don't ever listen to me when it comes to bike advice. I don't know what I'm talking about. All I know is that when I notice a difference, and I don't know how to describe the thing that I'm noticing sometimes. So there's probably technical terms for all these things, but there it is. What is the bike you always use? Right now, it's a Revel Rascal. I'm mostly riding that, but I do have the Yeti. It's back up and running, so I got to go take a ride on the Yeti and like compare now, like because I've been riding the Revel for so long. That'd be kind of fun. Yep. Okay. So trial bike 140 millimeter. Okay. Yeah. How much of a stickler are you with fork and shock cleaning? Not at all. When I wash the bike, I wash them. I should have them serviced probably once a year based on the rate that I ride. And so I'll probably have somebody do that for me. Like I don't know how much I want to dive into the shock maintenance, but usually I just hose it off and wipe them down, and they seem fine. I will probably get them serviced at some point. Barbecue is a great idea, and I'm in. Yes, I do want to do that. Just a big old barbecue and ride. That's probably like if I was to do a group ride, that's what I want to do as soon as possible. YT Jeffsy, YT makes good stuff as well. Yep, TRPs are very good. They are very punchy. I like it. Mesh just says, I would have to cancel all my family plans to join on a barbecue ride. Yeah, because I would just smoke a lot of meat. I thought of a funny concept as well, by the way. Think about like when you do like a dig day with a local trail organization, right? And like everybody gets together, they do lunch and all that stuff. I thought it'd be funny if I invited all my friends for a dig day, and I was like, I'll barbecue everything, just come over and we'll leave from my house. And then the joke would be the dig day was actually to help me work on my backyard because it's a mess. Because like the dig day would be fixing my backyard because it's a disaster zone right now. And the reason why is because every weekend I'd rather go ride and film. And so it eats up any time that is spent working on the house. And it's good to spend my time doing what I'm doing, obviously. But like, it's like, yeah, the dig day would be, I'd be like, no, it's back here. We're going to clean the backyard. They're like, you a-hole. One of these days, would you guys want to do that dig day? You let me know. I'll smoke some brisket for you. All right. Okay. Robert says homeowners insurance should cover your bike without any extra cost. $10,000 bike got stolen from me and I got $10,000 back. Nice. Okay. So that's pretty cool. See, I don't know a lot about that world, so I'm just genuinely curious. But if you don't have a home, if you're just renting, you don't have that. You know what I mean? If you don't have renters insurance, like who knows, like what's the population like? I don't know. Statistically, I don't know. So this interests me. I'm not a smart guy. I'm not a smart guy. So it's good to see people's perspectives. Oh man, what a day. Well, look, Seth isn't here. Yeah, Seth was here, but he is here. Wait, but he's not here. He's in chat. Look, we're well into this live stream. I think I've covered all the topics I want to cover. If there's something you guys want to discuss before we close up shop tonight, you let me know. I will say there's a couple events coming up. I'm going to be up at Everstoke on the 17th. So that's going to be on a Sunday. I may come up there Saturday night to spend the night. In addition to that, what else is going on? There's a couple cool events going on. Obviously, the one in Mare Island, the Mare Island Pedal Fest is taking place. I may or may not make that. I'm going to be up in Downeyville on the 22nd and 23rd with Tony, the Outsider. He's getting a crew together, so I'm going to go ride Downeyville with them and maybe Nevada City on Sunday. And then after that, then I'm like, we're going to Spain. So it's like basically the month is already filling up really fast. And then if I got to get back with Oaxaca Expeditions, and there's a possibility of somewhere in late January. I'm basically out of vacation time at this point once I go to Spain. Like, so I'm just going to be pro bono this stuff. I'm not going to get paid. I'm going to have to figure out a way to get like a sponsor on board to like help me cover the cost of not getting paid for my actual job for this stuff. Yeah, it's but you know, whatever. Like, life experiences to me are worth their weight in gold. So we'll see how it plays out, but I think it'd be interesting. Let's see. Oscar says you should do a short where you rent a downhill bike and use it like a trail bike. I don't know. Yeah, I'd have to find a good angle for that joke. Downhill bikes are on the downslope, I would assume, because most enduro bikes now are very capable. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like, I think at bike parks now you see a lot of people just riding enduro bikes versus downhill bikes. You know, it used to be rent a downhill bike, but now your enduro is just crushing. Right? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. How much travel is my Revel? It's a 130/140. So yeah, it's a all around trail bike. Kind of handles whatever it needs to handle. I think it's been good. Why did I get something in my throat just then? Look at that. What's the biggest jump you've hit? Maybe like 3 inches. I don't know. Like, I don't really jump much, Oscar. It's not, I just like, I don't see it on the trails that I ride, and I would have to go to like a local park to actually learn and practice jumping. And like, dude, I'm 40 years old, man. Like, at this point, it's all downhill from here. I really don't need to break my collarbone. Everybody I know is just breaking collarbones left and right. They should have collarbone insurance at this point. You know what I mean? Jeez. You should convince GoPro to sponsor you. Yeah, like, I just don't use the GoPro anymore. Like, all the stuff I do for social media is not riding footage. And I don't really intend on putting much riding footage into stuff. I mean, like, my riding's not that great. It's like, okay. For Spain, probably I'll do like a riding in Spain for the first time video, because we're going to be out there for like 7 days riding. So I'll probably try and do one big video for that. But yeah, I just like a GoPro wouldn't get much out of me, unfortunately. Otherwise, it would be rad. I do want to get a free GoPro Hero 12 when they launch it, but I'm probably just going to end up paying for it, because then I got to go like find contacts and ask for a free one and all this stuff. And like, I don't know. I could probably get a free one if I ask the right way, but we'll see. We shall see. I'll probably just pay for it myself. All right, bro, you have an entire bike. Taking to the bike parks is so nice. I know. Yeah, it's good. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm stoked you guys jumped in on this Friday with me. It's about an hour and a half in, aren't we? And just like that, it's flowed like butter. I think I covered all the topics I wanted to cover. Look, here's the deal. If you guys like what I'm doing, I don't know why you would, but if you do, there's only really a couple ways to support me, and you don't have to do any of them. One, I think we still have Calirado Kid gloves for sale at Trail Monos. I think the larges are sold out, actually. So there are still some available. If you want to get a pair of Calirado Kid riding gloves, the Mountain Bike Excuses riding gloves, they're still available in certain sizes. But once they're gone, they're gone. Merch is always hard for me, because like, it just seems like it takes time, and I don't like designing stuff. So this is probably the last merch thing I'll do for a while. But that's been great. Trail Monsters has been great to work with, and the gloves are awesome. I ride with them all the time. In addition to that, I have a link down below that has like, affiliate link stuff. So if you're looking for gear for kettle riding, one of my shorts and pants and stuff like that, you can get them through there. Trail One stuff, if you want to try the Trail One gear, that helps me. Worldwide Cyclery, if you need bike parts or anything like that, you can hit up Worldwide Cyclery through my affiliate link, and that will, like, a little percentage of that will go to me. Again, no pressure to do any of this stuff. I'm just putting it out there. Like, if you're going to buy some new tires or whatever anyways, you can just go there and do it. Something to think about. I don't know. Like, again, no pressure whatsoever. Most of the money that I make through this stuff is done through brand deals now and sponsored videos and things. So YouTube pays me very little. And then Instagram and TikTok pay me nothing. So that's how it goes. But like, it's up to me to make it work. So I'm just stoked that you guys are digging the videos and having a good time. And I've got 2 that I filmed today that I think are both really funny. And then I've got a 3rd one I'm working on for IMBA right now, which is like where to ride sort of stuff. So we're done with that video. That's going to launch next week too. So I'm working on all this stuff. And then now that I've got a little bit ahead on the short form content, I really want to like punch out. Hopefully this weekend, maybe I can shoot another long form video of some sort. But we'll see how it goes. You just never know. Time is always fluctuating. You know, I'm always trying to make it work. So I'm stoked you guys are digging it and putting up with the hijinks. I do want to do more live streams as well. These are always fun for me. So I'm glad you guys could jump in. You know, if there's a time that works better for everybody, I should put a poll out there one time and see. Like, I just choose 7 o'clock because it works for me. But if we ever decide to do like I always think like middle of the day on the weekend wouldn't work. But then you think like an overseas, that could be like in the evening or something. So who knows? So it's something to think about as well. But that's how we do it. That's how you do it. Let's see. Wannabe MTB says, when you shaved your beard, did you expect to be the social media sensation you are now? I knew it. All right. I knew it. I don't know if you guys know. Not a lot of you guys have been around since the beginning to know why I shaved the beard. All right. But there's a long storied past behind that. And no, like I had a feeling, like, okay, so when I was making those videos, I had maybe like 400 subscribers when I went to Colorado. And I called that trip that I made to Colorado, the Calirado Kids Grand Return to Colorado. Like I already had delusions of grandeur without even having 1,000 subs. So I always had a hunch that it would go well. Like, and so you never know what's going to happen. Obviously it's 70% luck and 28% mustache, but I had a suspicion that my personality was different. And so like really what it took is me finally starting, and you know, that's the rest is history. So it turns out I got a knack for it a little bit, I guess. Let's see what else. How many crashes have happened to you? A bunch. You can still see this scar. Can you see that one up close? Wait, I can't position my arm in such a way. It doesn't look as bad when you look at it that way, but that's that like crash video. That thing is still like getting millions of views, but like, yeah, that's a bad crash. And it wasn't even anything gnarly. I think that was probably the worst one that I had, like just ripped up my arm and the side of my body and everything like that. And that was just me like not paying attention on the bike. And I slipped out into some gravel and just like, boom, basically road rash all over the body. I never have broken a bone on the bike or anything like that. Luckily, but like, yeah, that was probably just my gnarliest. I've never had any major head impact or anything like that either. So I've been lucky. I think I'm a timid rider. So like if I ride something new, I'm pretty timid on it. When I ride something that I'm familiar with, like Downeyville, I'll haul ass. But like, I just don't want to go over a rock out of nowhere and just end up in the hospital. So I tend to err on the side of caution when I'm riding a new trail and stuff. And I think that keeps me safe sometimes, luckily, but you never know. You know, how many? Yeah. So not too many crashes, but just enough. How many bikes do you have? I own the Yeti SB55, and then Rebel sent me the Rascal to play around with. So technically only 2. I really only technically own the Yeti at this point. So it's not that much. Like not like every other content creator that's 18 bikes. Like I don't have that much. I do want stuff like I do want an e-bike. I do want a gravel bike, and really just for bits. Like I just want, like I have funny ideas with an e-bike video. I have funny idea for a hardtail video. I just need those for props more than anything. And I'll ride them when I can, but you know, it'd be fun to get a dirt jumper and go out to the park and actually try to jump with it and stuff too. But again, like that's all just, if I had more time in the day, I'd be doing it all, but I don't have all the time in the world. So there you go. Wife's out of town, so this is a great time for me. Awesome, man. Stoked you could jump in. And I didn't want to take up your guys' whole night, but I'm glad we could jump in here. Wannabe MTB says, so awesome. Congrats on the success. Yeah, you never know. Like a lot of it's blind luck. You get a couple viral videos and it gets you some traction. And then that really inspired me to make more. Like just, I felt rewarded. I think in the long run, I think at the beginning in YouTube, like I would spend a lot of time on videos, and I've said this before, and like I wouldn't get a lot of views, and I think I got burnt out pretty quick on that. Like, and it's not because the videos were okay. The thumbnails and titles weren't good. Like it was a lot of it was on my shoulders. Now, if I was to start, I know the formula now. I could apply that and start really just doing it. I just need more time, but you know, and so like it was a short form that brought me back into the fold. Like I've told the story before. Like I was kind of burnt out on YouTube videos, and then I had one thing go viral on Instagram, and it gave me the inspiration to start doing more short form, and the rest is history. Like it was just always that ability to pivot, change up, find something different, do something different. And it made it fun for me again. And it was like, okay, cool. So I always think of that. If I feel like something's getting stale, I'll just go do something a little bit different. And then there's no pressure on my shoulders. Like it's kind of nice to have that freedom to a certain extent. So that was the pivot. Dude, short form content turned to be wildly successful. And, you know, had I just been, you know, stuck in the way that I was doing things, I probably would have just stopped. So, and now like I'm really itching to start making long form videos again, like for better or worse. I just like creatively, I want to start doing them again. So that's going to be happening. Like, it's just, you know, just be willing to pivot, be willing to adapt, and you can figure it out. Like, you just can't just like stick to one. You can stick to one thing if you obviously if you're good at it, but like, don't be afraid to change, try something different, do something new. That's all I'm saying. Riding at 7:30 a.m. at Skyline Show. Jesus, 7:30. That's aggressive, man. That's so early. I'll see, Jay. I'll see. I would have to leave here at 6 something. Oh my God, it's so early. Oh my God. All right. Look, yeah, anyways, I appreciate you guys jumping in. We'll try to do this again real soon. Always feed me topics. If there's something we want to discuss, we could discuss it. Otherwise, yes, to answer your question, the Calirado Kid is an international superstar. Yes, he is going to be featured in a Subaru marketing campaign, just not on TV, but on social media. But yeah, look, it's just another day for the Calirado Kid. When that video does come out, I'll try to share it. They've got a couple weeks where they got to do the production work on it and all that stuff. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not producing anything. They're doing it all. So I just showed up as a talent, and they filmed it, and they had the script and everything. So, hey, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? All right, so keep an eye out. I appreciate you guys jumping in. And, oh, my God, think of normal MTB here, Joe. 5 a.m., let's go. Oh, I know. Seabass is the best. I may try and ride with Seabass this weekend. We'll see. I know he's around. The next couple of weekends for me are super busy, so I do want to get out and ride. It's going to happen real soon. I've barely ridden my bike in the last couple of weeks, man. It's been crazy. I did that shoot down in L.A. and did a bunch of traveling and stuff, so I got to get some riding in this weekend. My body's feeling it. Anyways, I appreciate you guys jumping in. We will see you on the next one. And that's it. That's all I got. Thanks, guys. Look, I mean, like, obviously we're going to finish the stream out, and that's fine. I did want to give, Rainbow says, give me a shout out. Rainbow friends, Lookie, thanks for jumping in. Oscar is always good timing with you guys hanging out. And I had a story to tell, but I forgot what I was going to say. I do have this great shot because I released that video recently about, about, you know, the video I put out on YouTube was about, what was it? God, and I can't even remember. Anyways, like, if mountain bikers were honest with themselves, right? And one of them was like, I'm the guy who, instead of taking a PRD, I take a DRD, a during ride dump, as it goes. And so now I have this picture in my phone, which I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, but I'm just kind of like excited to have it for some reason. Like, I don't know why. Just look at the look on my face is like gold. This is a real thing. I just have that picture on my phone. I should make that the backdrop of my phone, but I haven't done it yet. It just exists. It's a thing that exists. Anyways, that's all I got. Okay, I'll see you guys on the next one. Here's the end stream button. The trick with the end stream button, by the way, is like, if you hit it, it'll cut you off. So you have to like just stand here and do nothing for like a few seconds. And then you stand here and do nothing, and then like you hit the end stream. So hopefully it's all seamless in the back end. This is why you know that I'm a professional when it comes to live streaming, and all these other schmucks out there trying to live stream don't know what they're doing. As a side note, why does nobody live stream anymore? What happened to the mountain biking game? What happened? Where is everybody? What's a goddamn snooze fest out there? Nobody's live streaming anymore. I don't know what the hell's going on. This is why, like, mountain bikers, when you look at mountain bike podcasts and stuff, you got all these major creators doing podcasts that nobody listens to. You go look at the view count, it's tiny. What's going on? I don't know. I'll fill the gap. All right, I'll fill the gap for you guys. Right? How many mountain bike content creators go live anymore? It's weird. Okay, I'm gonna go now. Okay, bye.